what's going on, you guys? Welcome to another episode. Today, we're going to talk about a very uncomfortable subject that a lot of people have a really hard time with, especially men, ironically, which is setting boundaries. You have to draw your hard line in the sand. You have to stand up for yourself, because if you don't, you're going to be a loser for the rest of your life. You are not going to reach your full potential by just continuing to be a doormat. Now, I'm not saying be disrespectful. I'm not saying to be overly aggressive. I'm not saying to be combative. But just be firm. Be strong in your belief system. Be comfortable with who you are inside and out. And naturally, people see that. You know, it's not something that you have to command from other people. It's not something that, you know, I'm preaching to the choir. You know, I have a really hard time with this myself. But you have to put some kind of system in place that doesn't allow people to just walk all over you. You know, that doesn't allow people to get in your personal space or just say or do whatever they want to you. You know, because we're all equal. You know, we're all human beings. You're an adult. I'm an adult. We're not children, right? It's not like when we were growing up, you know, where, you know, we had a bedtime, we had a time where we had to eat lunch or eat dinner, we had to go to school, we had a time, we had a curfew, right? Those are the days for the children, right? You're an adult. Even when it comes to your parents, you know, if you feel like your parents are being disrespectful, or that they're, you know, they're maybe, you know, like trying to micromanage you a little bit, you know, and just tell you do this, do that, do this, say that. It doesn't matter if it's your parents or if it's not your parents. That's always a bridge too far. And you have to say something. You have to say, hey, you know what? I don't like that you're doing this. Stop doing it. Done. That's the end of the conversation, right? And again, obviously, I'm not saying be disrespectful, especially if you're working for somebody and, you know, maybe they are doing that. But that's a very rare case that happens. I'm speaking specifically to people that are in rare situations like that. But for the most part, you know, and you know, I didn't really learn about this until later in life, that bosses and employers and supervisors, they have to come down on you sometimes. They have to be direct with you. They're just doing their job. They have to make sure that their department is operating smoothly. They have to make sure that their business, that everybody's, you know, got their T's crossed and their I's dotted. They have to make sure that everything is up to standard, because if they don't do that and they're just giving everybody pats on the back and telling everybody that they're special and that you know they're the best thing since sliced bread, they're not going to get anything done by doing that. They're not going to run their company or their business as efficiently as they could, because they're being way too soft. They're trying to be their employees' best friend, right? And I'm not so. But in the rare case that they are being overly aggressive or abusing their power a little bit, then it doesn't matter if they write you up or if they fire you. You have to stand your ground. You have to stand up for who you are, no matter what. And if you do that, even if you lose your job, or, you know, maybe you're in a relationship that you know you shouldn't be in, because, you know, maybe you're a dude in your relationship with a girl and she's vindictive and she likes to boss you around and try to make you adjust your life in a way that fits her narrative. But you're just with her, right? Because she's got some nice titties and a nice ass, so that's why you're with her. You know, you just want to make her happy wife, happy life, right? but if she's doing that and and it's a consistent pattern with her that she's treating you like that, well then you have to set her straight. You have to say, hey, you know what, I don't like that you're doing this, and if you don't stop, then we're gonna have to go our separate ways. You have to stand up for yourself no matter what. You're a man. You have a dick. You have balls. Use them. So many guys. There's so many guys in our society right now that are just too compliant, too pussified. Just you know, most guys are just compliant beta pussies, and you know that has to change. It doesn't matter how you grew up. It doesn't matter if you grew up under an authoritative thumb, you know. And let me go ahead and get into that too, because even though it's a separate subject, I think it ties in perfectly with what I'm talking about. If you grew up with a parent, or maybe you are a parent, and I'm not giving any parenting advice whatsoever, because there's no advice that I can give. I don't have any kids. But if you are a parent and your parenting style is you know, leans more towards do as I say, not as I do, your kids are not going to respect that. They're not going to have any kind of they're just not going to be, you know, influenced by that. Like, you're not a person of influence. You're not a leader if you do that, right? Kids learn more by example. What kind of an example are you setting for them? You know, why is my bedtime 9 o'clock? Well, because why do I have to eat dinner at 6 o'clock? Well, because why do I have to be home by 7 o'clock? Well, because, you know, if you go outside too late, someone might kidnap you. Someone might present some kind of harm to you. That's why you come back inside at 7 o'clock. But just telling them, hey, come back home by 7 o'clock because I'm your dad, I'm your mom, because I told you to. That's not the way to direct people. That's not the way to influence people. You're just being a dictator. You're just being a tyrant, and nobody likes tyrants. And it doesn't matter where the tyranny comes from. People don't like that shit. People are not going to listen to you if you do that. And I'm not speaking as though I've never done anything like that myself before, because I definitely have, but you know, it's just not the way to try and lead people. It's not the way to try and be an example for people. But regardless of who understands that and who doesn't, you have to stand your ground. You have to be who you are. Because as long as you do that, you know, they may take your job, they may take your house, they may take your car, but they can never take that away from you. Really think about that, because when you die, that's all you're gonna have is yourself. And what will you think of yourself at that point? What will you say to yourself at that point in your last 5 minutes of being here on planet Earth? Something to really think about. But anyway, guys, that's my episode for you. I hope you liked it. I hope it brought value, and if it did, share it with your friends and your family. If you guys are looking for a really great pre-workout, I would suggest go and check out OSNAP in the link tree in my bio. They have just the product for you, and plus they have several others, including sleep aids and all that kind of stuff. So go check them out. I guarantee there's not a product that they have that you won't be satisfied with. And then go check me out on YouTube at Collectively Fearless. Subscribe to my channel there to get more daily videos. Follow me on Instagram at itsmanny_ice. where I'll post daily content. And that's all I have for you guys. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, rest of your night, or rest of your morning, whenever it is you get this. And as always, I will talk to you again soon.